Hi there. Welcome to Apple World before all else. Like the initial 3 and 1/2 years. Like the initial multi-month 3 and 4 months, he was truly pleasant. However, at that point after that, he had begun being like the initial 3.5 years, he was like hateful toward me. So when you say mean depict it, he resembled continuously disparaging me and consistently he was like intellectually sincerely. And genuinely mishandled recall when her and Gina Puffy's, little plaything from some time ago got into it, and this is her message to her in the event that I believed you should clear Diddy would have had you kneeling down, right? So that is her not too far off conceding that she knows how Diddy gets down and how he utilizes these females, so it seems as though young Miami probably won't be the casualty we thought she was in this chaotic Diddy circumstance, since Diddy's drawn outside. Gina Huynh just emerged to uncover how Miami collaborated with Diddy to hurt her and misuse her when they were together incidentally. Diddy and Miami have been treating Gina the same way they treated Cassie. And you all are not going to accept the psycho receipts that Gina accompanied. It appears as though Diddy would have another claim coming his direction, cause this is about to go down, since Miss Gina has formally proclaimed war, and afterward, young Miami, who was popping all kind of you can't hear a mother word out of her mouth. Currently everyone's peaceful, now huge and ass yet talking they tranquil. As though this new show you all is seeming as though there is much more difficulty on the way for Diddy and the is time young Miami is being snagged into the show also, so you all expertise everyone has been discussing the way in which young Miami needs to take off from Diddy to her benefit, since he's presumably harming her and putting hands on her, as he did to Cassie, or that he would before long beginning young. Miami even had individuals feeling terrible for her, discussing how she was Diddy's most recent casualty, yet for reasons unknown, she isn't exactly the casualty at all, on the grounds that, in addition to the fact that she is mindful of how Diddy treats ladies, purportedly she effectively participated in assisting Diddy with harming ladies, and clearly this isn't simply noise or Miami's critics making things to dishonor her, since Diddy's previous side piece Gina Huynh is presently emerging to make a few charges against Diddy and Miami. Besides the fact that she guarantees that Diddy hurt her, she also guarantees that Miami played a dynamic part in the maltreatment that Diddy put her through. Now, after Cassie followed the claim, we as a whole expected that it was going to simply involve opportunity before ladies emerged from the woods to uncover Diddy for being savage to them when they were together. Going by the awful things that Cassie uncovered in the claim, it is basically impossible that she was Diddy's only casualty. The claim said that Diddy attempted misventure in her own home after she attempted to leave him frequently punched, kicked, and puzzled on misventure, bringing about burst lips, bruised eyes, and drain-constrained misventure to take part in private demonstrations with males as WS while getting off on it and recording the experiences. Requested that misventure convey his gun in her handbag just to make her anxious, furthermore, show how risky he is, and acquainted misventure with a way of life of excess Remel liquor and substance stomach muscle, and expected her to secure Evoke solutions to fulfill his own addictions. It then proceeded to list a few long cases of how he hurt her. Listen, it was a lot of more regrettable than we might at any point envision. Blasio discussed a couple of times where he put hands on her, like when they were returning from going to a Jay-Z party. Mr. Combs beat Misadventure over and over in an Escalade, including by kicking and hitting her. He constrained her out of the vehicle and Fifth Road in New York City. She was in the long run ready to damnation a taxi, furthermore get into her condo in Manhattan. There's likewise when Cassie addressed a music chief in a club without Diddy's consent, and he was irate. It was nothing significant, simply an easygoing discussion in a club. Diddy blew up that when they left the club, Mr. Combs misventure driving her into the side of the vehicle and befuddling all over when the vehicle showed up at Mr. Cole's home. Misventure endeavored to take off, yet Mr. Combs followed her and continued to kick her again in the face. Misventure was bebble lavishly and was guided into Mr. Cole's home, where she started to hurl from the V episode to show how strong Did he was. He didn't attempt to conceal his way of behaving to our Cassie from individuals around him, since he did it before his representatives and individuals around him. However, he didn't have to, on the grounds that he had everyone so threatened that they were excessively terrified to successfully help Cassie. The claim said these were seen by Mr. Combs' staff and representatives of Terrible Kid Diversion and Mr. Cole's connected organizations. However, Nobody thought for even a moment to oppose their startling and savage manager, that likewise proceeded to say that Diddy was basically fixated on controlling Cassie and he would effectively hold her under his influence, regardless of whether it implied that he had to keep her medicated up to ensure that she did all that he needed her to. Cassie guaranteed that Diddy used to fool her into consuming medications, saying that he would maneuver her toward ingesting the medications, despite the fact that she would have rather not. She likewise asserted that he was dependent on torment pills, and at whatever point his legitimate inventory of agony pills ran out, he would drive her to assist him with scoring more pills. Discuss control. Diddy even ensured that he approached her clinical records, like the time she needed to have an X-ray done, on the grounds that Diddy had been putting his hands on her and giving her such countless medications to the place where she was beginning to lose her memory. Yet that is as yet not all, on the grounds that the claim says he used to say her over and over, and in the event that that wasn't terrible enough, he used to drive her to recruit male SWs and realize they were not taking part in a three-manner bargain. He would fly them out and afterward power Cassie to get physically involved with the SWSW. While he watched and got off on it, and when she attempted to oppose, he would take care of her medications until her opposition dissolved away. The lawsuit said Mr. Combs consistently provided Miss Ventura with abundant measures of previously and during the FOS. Miss Ventura was given simple cocaine, ABK pot, liquor, and inordinate sums during FOSE, which permitted her to dissociate during these terrible experiences. It became ordinary to get IV liquids in the days after NFO to recuperate from the unreasonable substances pushed upon her. The claim was one major, shocking tale, and obviously Cassie had individuals on her side who were battling for her against Diddy. At first, he attempted to deny the charges, and he had his legal counselor put out an announcement that said he fervently denies these hostile and incredible claims. Miss Venter's $30 million interest in the danger of composing a harmful book about their relationship was unequivocally dismissed as barefaced coercion, regardless of pulling out her underlying danger. Miss Venture has now depended on recording a claim filled with unmerited and unbelievable falsehoods, expecting to discolor Mr. Cole's standing and looking for a payday anyway. Diddy and Cassie eventually chose to privately address any remaining issues, and Cassie put out an announcement saying, "I have chosen to determine this matter genially on conditions that I have some degree of control. I need to thank my family, fans, and legal counselors for their unfaltering help." And Diddy likewise made an announcement where he said, "We have chosen to determine this matter genially. I want Cassie and her family to enjoy all that life has to offer. Love." However, on the grounds that Diddy and Cassie privately addressed any outstanding issues doesn't imply that the case subsided, in light of the fact that Cassie figured out how to begin a significant discussion around the point before she settled. She gathered her pack and afterward, she plunged, and this appears as though a shrewd move, yet like I said, the discussion is as yet continuous. At first, individuals were discussing the way that young Miami expected to move away from him for her own well-being, since he could hurt her too actually severely, and how she was presumably the person in question, and everything anyway. Gina Huynh, one of Diddy's previous side pieces, is currently emerging to uncover that Miami isn't the casualty we as a whole suspected she may be presently. Things among Gina and Miami have forever been exceptionally poisonous and untidy, since they continued to come for one another extra severe with virtual entertainment. I mean, do you all remember that chaotic battle that they had via virtual entertainment last year? Everything began when Gina posted this image of her kissing her cheek. Miami could have done without this, and she took to Twitter to denounce Gina for pursuing clout, saying someone should kindly offer this monster some consideration. Gina answered on her Instagram stories, "Assuming anybody's looking for consideration, it's you sucking my D." I don't give AF. Miami then, at that point, asserted that Gina was attempting to involve her for clout, and she said, "Consideration B, I'm the consideration. How about we send a clear notification to me? Please go plunk down. We see you loosening up. It's okay. You've been around for quite a while. You've been looking out for this second."